the next speaker I would like to introduce is Katherine, who's an SDR at Brandbassador. So fresh out of university as of last summer, Katherine is an SDR at Brandbassador, which is a SaaS startup in the influencer marketing space. Prior to starting work in sales, Katherine already knew a thing or two about grabbing people over the phone, as she used to be a part-time charity fundraiser. She's always found chit-chatting with strangers oddly amusing and ended up raising over £11,000 in telephone donations, so obviously she was doing something right. A fun fact about Katherine is that she was actually rejected for Brandbassador, but she found her hiring manager's number, called him back, and the rest is history. Please welcome Katherine Corcoran with her talk on If It Isn't Broken, Don't Fix It.
Hello guys, hopefully you can all hear me. My mic and my laptop's been a bit temperamental through all of this. So yeah, like Shabri said, I'm going to be talking about if it isn't broken, don't fix it. What I mean by that is basically I am like an old lady of SDRing. I do things in a really old school, by the books way, but there's So initially when Sales Confidence asked me to speak, I was like, I don't really have any creative insights to give to people because my sales process is so by the books, like I said. In my time, like I've done a few LinkedIn voice notes, got rejected and given up. My personalization is a standard, like 10 to 20% of the email. Again, really average. I have no personal brand on my LinkedIn. It's just pretty boring content right now. I did my first post last week and I have booked a grand total of 0 meetings via video. So my SDR game is really boring. But nonetheless, I've actually had really good results. And my success at Brandbassador has sort of come since I kind of gave up with these experiments. So for the next 5 minutes, I'm just going to be slating everything that's not a cold call. I'm joking, of course. But I'm going to be talking about why it doesn't matter if your SDR game feels kind of unfashionable or not really what other people are doing. What matters is that it works for you. So even though 80% of people here will be hitting up their prospects from at least 3 angles, call, email, and LinkedIn, we all know what our own specialism is. For me, it's a cold call. I actually worked it out last night. 61% of my meetings have been booked on the phone since I started as an SDR. And I'm sure you know what's been responsible for bringing in most of your pipeline. So if most of us have a specialism, why is it that us SDRs always feel the need to be experimenting and trying what has worked for other people? So in order to think about this a bit more, I looked at myself, my own workflow, and kind of my history of experimenting as an SDR. So when I kind of used to try out these things like voice notes and videos and calling out of hours, I realized that the reasoning for doing that stuff was actually quite self-centric. So for one, it made my day a bit more interesting. Like if you've had 30 calls and no one's picked up, you send a bunch of voice notes and videos and it feels like it's broken things up for you and made you feel a bit better about stuff. Secondly, it was making me feel like I was better at my job because I was kind of going a bit off-piste and doing stuff that was creative and new. And also, I found, I don't know if you guys think the same, that when I sent these videos, that in itself felt like an achievement, and the results of whether someone replied or whether I got a meeting of it became kind of less important because I enjoyed just sending the videos. And the key thing that unites all of those points is that none of it was really about the prospect. It was about me, what I think makes me a good SDR, and what I think the prospect will like. So I kind of started thinking about how, as SDRs, we can take that really good experimental mindset, but apply it to the fifth or resulted in your success. So hopefully with some ideas. One experiment that everyone can run, value prop. I know it sounds super boring, but a guy called Bilal Batrawi, who's like one of my favorite people to follow on LinkedIn, gave a suggestion to talk about what your product means and it does. So if I talk about what Brandbassador does, it's a tool that helps brands scale and automate unlimited community of brand ambassadors. It's kind of a bit boring. But what Brandbassador means is working with 1,000+ brand ambassadors. All of them actually care about your brand. They're not influencers. This isn't like their livelihood posting paid ads. They're just people that know and love your brand and want to spread the word. For me, at least, I think that second message hits a lot harder. And my point is, just running a mini experiment like that can bring in huge results. Another thing, literally the oldest trick in the book, but oh, I can see some people are saying I've gone off screen. Okay, hopefully I haven't for everybody. But yeah, oldest trick in the book is letting the prospect do most of the talking. I know that this is really, really old school. If you've read How to Win Friends, Influence People, number one thing. But don't be afraid of following that rule because it's old fashioned. Third and final tweak that everyone can make, no matter whether you're an emailer, caller, LinkedIner, videoer, whatever kind of an SDR you are, everyone can edit their call to action. So shout out to my friend Jovan here. Maybe he's listening. Maybe he's tuned out of boredom right now. But Jovan came up with the idea of reverse engineering your call to action. So what he would say to prospects on the phone is, would it be a really bad idea for us to catch up later in the week? And some kind of like voodoo reverse psychology shit has gone off in the prospect's mind and made them say yes to that meeting. You don't have to use that example exactly, but again, my point is that these are just minor tweaks that you can make to your process to improve things without overhauling a successful strategy that's been proven to work for you. So I think I'm coming towards the end of my time now. Hopefully that was helpful. But to wrap up, one of the best things I think about being an SDR is that we've got this community of people who can share advice, show what's working for them, and try new strategies. And that's really great. But don't forget that you have a bulk of opportunity that's worked for you. You've got a bread and butter of prospecting that's brought in 50 to 60% of your meetings. And no matter how like unglamorous or unfashionable that might feel, if it works for you, stick by it. So hopefully that was helpful. I'm kind of going to linger here now until Shabri gets back, but I hope you guys are keeping your pipeline healthy and happy prospecting.